Chapter 2. Itchy Feet. At first, Sinbad was delighted to be home. But soon he had itchy feet. He wanted to visit new places, so he bought more silks and spices to trade. A friendly captain welcomed him on board his ship, and they headed for the high seas. "This is the life." One day, they stopped at a deserted island to collect fresh water. Sinbad sat down in a shady spot and fell asleep. An hour later, he woke in a panic. The ship had set sail without him. He was stranded. Sinbad climbed a tree and looked over the island. All he could see was one huge white egg. As Sinbad watched, a gigantic bird flew onto the egg and settled down to sleep. "It must be a roc." Sinbad knew the roc bird was very strong. Maybe it could rescue him. He unwound his turban, crept up to the bird, and tied himself to its leg. When the roc woke up, it stretched its giant wings and soared into the sky. Sinbad found himself dangling high above the clouds. Gulp! Before long, the roc dived down into a deep valley. Sinbad felt hard ground beneath his feet and quickly untied himself. The roc caught a sheep in its claws and flew away. Sinbad stared in fear at the steep-sided valley. It was squirming with snakes, which slithered over dead sheep. Then Sinbad noticed the ground was studded with jewels. He was stuffing some in his pockets when he saw a vicious snake eyeing him hungrily. Sinbad ducked down. How could he escape? Seeing the rocks circling overhead gave him an idea. Quickly, he tied himself to a sheep and waited. In no time, a roc swooped down and grabbed the sheep in its claws. It flew out of the valley, with Sinbad trailing below. The roc landed on a cliff. It was about to eat the sheep when a group of men charged at the bird, scaring it away. "Bother!" said one. "No jewels in this sheep's wool." Then they spotted Sinbad. His escape from Snake Valley amazed them. In return for some jewels, they put him on a ship bound for Baghdad.